You are listening to The Standard Show, the podcast that brings you the stories behind the standards with Matthew Childs and Cindy Paragill.
The Commonwealth is a voluntary association of 56 independent and equal countries. It's home to 2.7 billion people and includes both advanced economies and developing countries. 33 of its members are small states, including many island nations. And its member governments agree to shared goals like democracy, trade and development. The Commonwealth Standards Network, or CSN, was established in 2018 to promote the use of standards to boost trade and development in low and middle income Commonwealth countries. The UK government helps fund CSN activities via its international development budget, and the programme delivery is managed by BSI. The CSN collaborates with national standards bodies, NSBs, from throughout the Commonwealth, helping to improve the services they offer to their stakeholders to enhance the effective use of standards, leading to economic, sustainability and society benefit. Hello, this is Matthew Childs, and this episode of The Standard Show is an audio-abridged version of a CSN report, Carbon Management Standards, supporting sustainable infrastructure and reducing costs. Now, as nations work towards climate goals and economic growth, carbon management has emerged as a crucial tool for achieving a net zero economy while enhancing cost efficiency. Commonwealth countries face diverse economic and geographical challenges in implementing standardised approaches to infrastructure development. But by adopting consistent carbon management standards, waste can be minimised, costs reduced, and sustainability reinforced, ultimately strengthening economic resilience.
This is Cindy Paragill here with a reminder that you can rate, review, and subscribe to The Standard Show wherever you get your podcasts. And you can get in touch and find and follow us on social media too. All the details are in the show notes.
CSN Report: Carbon Management Standards, supporting sustainable infrastructure and reducing costs. 1. Introduction. Infrastructure, including buildings, transport networks, water systems and energy grids, forms the backbone of modern economies. However, these systems contribute significantly to global carbon emissions and often suffer from inefficiencies that lead to financial and operational waste. As nations work towards climate goals and economic growth, carbon management has emerged as a crucial tool for achieving a net zero economy while enhancing cost efficiency. Commonwealth countries face diverse economic and geographical challenges in implementing standardised approaches to infrastructure development. By adopting consistent carbon management standards, waste can be minimised, costs reduced, and sustainability reinforced, ultimately strengthening economic resilience. The report highlights PAS 2080, a comprehensive framework that manages carbon throughout the entire life cycle of infrastructure projects. By embedding whole-life carbon management principles into design, construction, operation and decommissioning, PAS 2080 provides a structured approach to decarbonisation. For Commonwealth nations, this standard supports economic growth while maintaining environmental sustainability by fostering collaboration among asset owners, designers, financiers and policymakers. The report offers practical guidance for governments, industry stakeholders and private sector actors to implement carbon management strategies in infrastructure. It examines global and Commonwealth-specific trends, best practices and challenges, presenting an assessment of existing standards and their adaptation to national contexts. Additionally, it explores strategies for stakeholder engagement, capacity building, and the promotion of standardised approaches that optimise costs while reducing carbon footprints. Case studies from Commonwealth nations illustrate the tangible economic, environmental, and social benefits of integrating carbon management into infrastructure. Capacity building within NSBs is crucial for strengthening the understanding and application of carbon management principles, so the report highlights digital and in-person training approaches, ensuring that professionals across the infrastructure sector can implement effective strategies. Sustainable infrastructure delivers broader benefits, incorporating nature-based solutions, enhancing biodiversity, and improving air and water quality. Strong carbon management also ensures compliance with international agreements like the Paris Climate Accord and enhances climate resilience, particularly for vulnerable regions such as small island developing states. In summary, adopting carbon management standards is essential for Commonwealth countries seeking sustainable, resilient and economically viable infrastructure. This report provides a roadmap for advancing infrastructure sustainability, leveraging best practices, existing standards and targeted strategies to build a low-carbon future. 2. Context and current landscape. The push for sustainable infrastructure has gained traction worldwide as countries recognise the economic and environmental benefits of reducing carbon emissions. Many have adopted carbon management strategies, including life cycle carbon assessments, renewable energy integration, and energy-efficient construction. Initiatives like the European Green Deal and the UN Sustainable Infrastructure Goals have accelerated this shift, influencing global supply chains. Across the Commonwealth, there is growing recognition of the need to transition towards sustainable infrastructure to meet climate commitments and strengthen economic resilience. Key challenges include engaging stakeholders with diverse priorities, addressing financial and technical resource constraints, closing policy gaps, and improving access to advanced technologies. Many developing nations struggle with the implementation of carbon management systems due to limited infrastructure and expertise. However, opportunities exist to leverage international standards, emerging technologies, capacity building initiatives, and innovative financing mechanisms. NSBs can play a pivotal role in facilitating the adoption of recognised frameworks, ensuring consistency in carbon management practices. International standards help align carbon management efforts, fostering best practices and ensuring interoperability across supply chains. Standardised reporting mechanisms enhance transparency, attract investment, and support sustainable economic growth. By learning from successful Commonwealth initiatives, countries can develop tailored strategies that reflect their unique contexts, promoting widespread adoption of improved carbon management standards. This collaborative approach is crucial to achieving sustainable infrastructure that supports global climate goals and economic development across the Commonwealth. 3. Analysis of current carbon management in infrastructure standards. Evaluating existing carbon management standards is essential to ensuring sustainable infrastructure across the Commonwealth. This analysis identifies strengths and limitations within current frameworks and explores ways to enhance them to meet the evolving needs of diverse nations. International standards such as ISO 14064 provide essential guidelines for measuring, monitoring, and verifying greenhouse gas emissions. While widely adopted, these standards lack specific sector guidance for infrastructure projects. The PAS 2080 framework offers a more targeted approach, promoting whole-life carbon assessment, collaborative governance, and life-cycle-based decision-making. By complementing ISO 14001, PAS 2080 provides a comprehensive structure for infrastructure carbon management, fostering stakeholder collaboration and transparency. Regional standards, including the European standards EN 15978 and EN 15804, integrate life-cycle carbon assessments into policy frameworks. Commonwealth countries can adopt and adapt these models to enhance transparency, improve reporting mechanisms, and secure international investment. Nationally, some countries, such as Canada, have integrated emissions reduction into building codes, while smaller Commonwealth nations are still developing these regulatory frameworks. Private certification schemes such as VERA, the Verified Carbon Standard, and the Greenhouse Gas Protocol also play a role in carbon verification, though they do not always align with formal international standards. Commonwealth nations should assess whether these proprietary schemes adhere to World Trade Organization principles of transparency, openness, and effectiveness. Despite the progress made, gaps remain in standard implementation, particularly for developing nations. Ensuring adaptability for different infrastructure types, aligning with local regulations, and enhancing stakeholder participation in standard development are critical steps. A more scalable, flexible, and technology-responsive approach will strengthen carbon management practices across the Commonwealth, fostering sustainable infrastructure and economic resilience. 4. Engaging stakeholders for carbon management. Effective stakeholder engagement is essential for the successful development, implementation, and evolution of carbon management standards. Ensuring collaboration across industries enhances the effectiveness of these practices, making them more sustainable and widely accepted. NSBs play a crucial role in fostering this cooperation by facilitating dialogue, providing sector-specific guidance, and promoting transparency. Construction firms benefit from targeted awareness and training programs that highlight the advantages of integrating carbon management standards into their operations. Offering tools that align with existing processes and providing incentives, such as certifications and financial benefits, can encourage wider adoption. Governments also play a key role in incorporating carbon management into policy frameworks and enforcing regulations. Their involvement in drafting policies ensures practicality, while pilot projects in public infrastructure set a benchmark for private sector engagement. Private investors are increasingly prioritising sustainability in their portfolios, influenced by regulatory requirements and market demand for greener investments. Transparent reporting and showcasing long-term cost benefits can attract more investment into sustainable infrastructure. Financial instruments such as green bonds and sustainable loans further incentivise low-carbon projects. By convening discussions, offering tailored guidance, and ensuring open access to information, NSBs can enhance stakeholder trust and drive the widespread adoption of carbon management standards.
The Commonwealth, a global network of 56 equal and independent nations, is a powerhouse of trade and development spanning 5 continents and home to 2.7 billion citizens. With a shared language, values, and trading frameworks, Commonwealth nations enjoy the Commonwealth advantage, trading 20% more, attracting 10% more investment, and reducing bilateral trade costs by 21% compared to non-members. However, many low and middle income Commonwealth nations struggle to adopt and influence international standards, limiting their trade potential. That's where the Commonwealth Standards Network, the CSN, steps in. Launched in 2018 and managed by BSI, CSN helps governments, national standards bodies, and businesses enhance their use of international standards, boosting trade and economic growth. Backed by 4 rounds of UK government funding, CSN has delivered transformative impact on quality, such as Belize's national quality policy, on standards reform, such as St. Lucia adopting more than 400 international standards, and on business growth, such as Uganda's private sector benefiting from adopting standards. As 80% of trade relies on standards and regulations, CSN is breaking barriers and opening markets, fostering stronger, fairer, and more cooperative trade across the Commonwealth. To find out more about the impact of the CSN, check out the link in the show notes.
5. NSB guidelines for enhancing implementation of carbon management standards. Strengthening the role of NSBs in facilitating adoption is essential for ensuring widespread acceptance and effectiveness across the Commonwealth. NSBs can enhance implementation by developing training programs that equip staff with the knowledge to effectively communicate the benefits of carbon management standards. Providing stakeholders with implementation toolkits, including templates and reporting software, simplifies compliance and increases accessibility for businesses of all sizes. Certification and recognition programs further incentivize adherence by enhancing corporate reputations and attracting investment in sustainable practices. Nationally, NSBs should collaborate with governments to integrate carbon management standards into regulatory frameworks and public infrastructure projects. Public awareness campaigns showcasing success stories can increase support, while financial incentives such as tax breaks and grants encourage businesses to adopt best practices. On an international level, participation in global sustainability forums allows NSBs to share insights and adopt best practices. Collaborating with international bodies helps align national standards with global benchmarks, ensuring credibility and broader acceptance. Initiating cross-border pilot projects with other NSBs further demonstrates the adaptability of these standards in different regulatory and environmental contexts. By implementing these strategies, NSBs can play a vital role in promoting sustainable infrastructure and advancing the Commonwealth's commitment to carbon efficiency. Their proactive efforts contribute to global climate goals while fostering economic resilience and sustainable development. 6. NSB provision of training and capacity building for standards users. Effective training programs and adaptable learning formats are essential for empowering NSBs to lead the implementation and promotion of carbon management practices across the Commonwealth. Building capacity requires comprehensive and flexible approaches tailored to the needs of stakeholders, including construction firms, regulatory agencies, and financial institutions. Training initiatives should not only highlight the importance of carbon management, but also provide detailed guidance on standards such as PAS 2080, along with the latest technological advancements that facilitate effective implementation. Customizing training sessions to address the specific requirements of different sectors and regional contexts ensures broader engagement and practical relevance. Traditional in-person training remains a crucial method for deepening understanding and fostering collaboration among stakeholders. Workshops and seminars enable interactive learning experiences, such as scenario planning and case study analysis, which encourages active participation. Modular training formats allow professionals to focus on topics most relevant to their work, while regional training centres can serve as hubs for knowledge dissemination, cross-border collaboration, and the adaptation of global standards to local contexts. On-site training in real-world project environments further enhances practical application by bridging theoretical knowledge with real-life challenges. Incorporating digital learning platforms extends accessibility and ensures continuous professional development. Online courses, webinars, and multilingual resources support ongoing knowledge enhancement as standards evolve and new technologies emerge. A collaborative approach to e-learning across Commonwealth nations can improve efficiency, reduce duplication, and foster a unified approach to carbon management. Hybrid learning models, which integrate digital and in-person formats, offer the best of both worlds by combining accessibility with hands-on engagement. By adopting these strategies, NSBs can build the expertise necessary to advance carbon management practices, ensuring that infrastructure projects align with sustainability goals while supporting economic and environmental resilience. 7. Case studies. Successful use of PAS 2080 for carbon management in infrastructure. Previous sections have emphasised the role of PAS 2080 in advancing carbon management and promoting sustainable infrastructure within the Commonwealth. This section examines 3 case studies, demonstrating the successful application of the standard, illustrating the challenges faced, solutions implemented, and the resulting benefits. These examples highlight the adaptability of PAS 2080 across different sectors, reinforcing its value in reducing carbon emissions and achieving economic efficiency. Anglian Water, a leading UK utility company, integrated PAS 2080 into its carbon management strategy to address emissions from water and wastewater infrastructure. By establishing clear carbon reduction targets and fostering collaboration across its supply chain, the company successfully embedded sustainability into its project lifecycle. As a result, Anglian Water achieved a 61% reduction in capital carbon and a 22% decrease in capital expenditure, demonstrating that environmental responsibility can align with financial savings. Their success also led to the issuance of the first sterling green bond by a utility company, attracting investment through a strong sustainability commitment. HS2, the UK's largest high-speed rail project, incorporated PAS 2080 from its inception to minimise environmental impact. By implementing life-cycle carbon management strategies and engaging stakeholders at all levels, the project significantly reduced material consumption and optimised construction practices. One notable achievement was a 27% reduction in structural steel use at Old Oak Common Station, cutting 2,700 tonnes of carbon and saving £7 million in costs. This approach underscores how major infrastructure projects can integrate carbon management to enhance sustainability while remaining cost-effective. Skanska UK, a global construction firm, adopted PAS 2080 as part of its strategy to achieve net zero emissions by 2045. Utilising digital tools such as building information modelling and optimising operational efficiency, the company successfully reduced emissions in concrete use by 11% and transitioned to biofuels on construction sites. Their experience illustrates how innovative construction practices can drive both environmental and economic benefits. These case studies highlight the scalability of PAS 2080, demonstrating its effectiveness in reducing carbon emissions and costs across diverse infrastructure projects. While most documented examples originate from the UK, similar approaches can be adapted across the Commonwealth. By prioritising stakeholder collaboration and emphasising both sustainability and cost efficiency, Commonwealth nations can leverage PAS 2080 to build resilient, low-carbon infrastructure aligned with global climate commitments. Expanding these initiatives through CSN activities will ensure that member countries benefit from established best practices, fostering sustainable growth on a global scale. 8. PAS 2080 User Guidance. The adoption of PAS 2080 requires a structured approach, ensuring its principles are integrated into all phases of infrastructure development. This standard is designed for asset owners, designers, contractors, financiers, and policymakers, offering a unified framework to manage carbon throughout a project's life cycle. Asset owners, including governments and utilities, play a critical role in setting carbon reduction targets and ensuring compliance through procurement and contracts. Designers and engineers must incorporate low-carbon principles into their project plans, while contractors focus on sustainable construction practices. Financiers can use PAS 2080 compliance as a benchmark for green financing, and policymakers should align national infrastructure policies with the standards requirements. Implementation begins with the planning phase, where leadership must designate a carbon manager to oversee compliance and set targets aligned with national net zero goals. During the design phase, life cycle assessments should quantify both embodied and operational carbon, prioritising low-carbon solutions such as recycled materials and renewable energy integration. In the construction phase, collaboration with suppliers ensures the use of low-carbon materials, while key performance indicators track progress in waste reduction and energy use. The operational phase focuses on optimising energy efficiency through smart technologies and annual carbon reporting. Finally, the decommissioning phase emphasises circularity, ensuring materials are reused or recycled to minimise waste. The effectiveness of PAS 2080 is measured through specific key performance indicators. Cost savings can be achieved through optimised material use, energy efficiency gains, and process innovations, all of which are particularly valuable for SMEs in developing Commonwealth countries. Carbon reduction is assessed through absolute emission savings compared to baseline levels, with stakeholders tracking emissions across all project phases and setting clear reduction targets. Compliance rates ensure widespread adoption, requiring internal checklists and regular audits. Innovation adoption is also a crucial measure, evaluating the integration of low-carbon technologies and scalable solutions. Operational and embodied carbon metrics provide further insight into an infrastructure project's sustainability. Operational carbon resulting from energy use and maintenance is tracked through energy management systems and investment in renewable energy sources. Embodied carbon, which encompasses emissions from materials and construction processes, is minimised through sustainable procurement and waste reduction strategies. A robust evaluation framework ensures continuous monitoring of these metrics, utilising digital tools like building information modelling to provide real-time tracking. Stakeholder feedback is gathered through scheduled reviews, surveys and interviews to assess the impact of carbon management strategies. Transparent reporting, both public and internal, maintains accountability and highlights performance trends. Adaptive management allows for adjustments based on evaluation outcomes, ensuring ongoing improvement. Benchmarking against industry and global standards further enhances performance, driving broader adoption of sustainable infrastructure practices across the Commonwealth. By integrating these principles, stakeholders can leverage PAS 2080 to develop resilient, cost-effective and low-carbon infrastructure, contributing to global climate goals. 9. Recommendations and next steps. Effective carbon management in infrastructure requires both immediate and long-term strategies. Policymakers must strengthen regulatory frameworks to encourage the adoption of carbon management standards in new and existing projects. Aligning regulations with national climate targets ensures sustainability, while incentives such as tax rebates and grants promote investment in low-carbon infrastructure. Increased funding for research in low-carbon materials and technologies is essential, driving innovation through startups and academic partnerships. Small and medium-sized enterprises are key players in infrastructure development and need support through public-private partnerships. Collaboration between SMEs, governments and corporations enables knowledge sharing and risk mitigation in carbon management efforts. Expanding incentives tied to carbon reduction goals reduces financial barriers, while capacity building programs, including e-learning and training, equip SMEs with practical tools for sustainability. NSBs play a crucial role in implementing carbon management standards, like PAS 2080. Expanding training programs ensures professionals across the infrastructure sector can access learning opportunities. Standardising carbon measurement enhances transparency and accountability, while awareness campaigns through webinars, digital channels and industry partnerships ensure widespread adoption. Stakeholder collaboration is essential. NSB should establish forums for ongoing dialogue between government agencies, private sector leaders and civil society. Digital tools like iSolutions facilitate knowledge sharing, while Commonwealth-wide NSB partnerships enhance collective expertise. Monitoring adherence to PAS 2080 through structured collaboration, clear role definitions, and verification programs ensures compliance and credibility. Continuous improvement is key. Feedback mechanisms and benchmarking against global standards drive progress. Key performance indicators track stakeholder engagement, PAS 2080 adoption, and the long-term economic environmental benefits of carbon reduction efforts. By raising awareness, engaging stakeholders, and ensuring compliance, NSBs can drive infrastructure sectors towards sustainability. Through collaboration and innovation, the Commonwealth can achieve a resilient, low-carbon future, benefiting both people and the planet. Now, if you want to know more about the themes and issues raised in this report, and to read the full report itself, then check out the links in the show notes. And the show notes are also where you can find details of our socials and all the other ways to get in touch with us here on The Standard Show.
You have been listening to an episode of The Standard Show, the podcast that brings you the stories behind the standards, with Matthew Childs and Cindy Parakill.
You just heard a Stripped Media production.